Monica, I'm 33, and last month I got the promotion I'd been busting my ass for. Regional Operations Manager, not bad for someone who started as an intern, right? The pay bump was substantial, enough that I could finally start saving for that house I've been dreaming about. You know, something with a real backyard where I could plant flowers, maybe grow some tomatoes. I didn't tell my family about it. That might sound weird, but you'd understand if you knew them. Instead, I threw a party at O'Malley's downtown with my work friends. Sarah from accounting brought those mini quiches everyone loves, and Dave from IT actually showed up for once. To Monica, they all cheered as I raised my beer. May she never forget us little people. I laughed, but inside I was thinking about why I hadn't told Mom, Dad, or my sister Lisa about this. See, my family has this habit of treating me like their personal ATM. Last month alone, Dad needed $800 for emergency roof repairs, the third emergency that year. Mom's washing machine broke, again, and guess who bought the new one? Yeah, me. And don't get me started on Lisa. Lisa's 36, married to Tom, has 2 kids, Jaden and Kaylee. They both work, but somehow they're always broke. Monica, can you help with Jaden's karate classes this month? We're a bit short. Monica, Kaylee needs new dance shoes, and rent's due. It never ends. The thing is, Lisa's always been the golden child. Growing up, everything revolved around her. She got the bigger room, the newer clothes, the college fund. Yeah, you heard that right, they spent my college fund on her education. Lisa needs it more, they said. You're smart, Monica, you'll figure something out. So I did. I worked 3 jobs through college, graduated with honors, and clawed my way up the corporate ladder while Lisa dropped out junior year because she got pregnant. Now she posts on Facebook about how hard it is being a mom while I pay for her kids' activities. 2 weeks after my promotion party, my phone rang. Mom. Monica, honey, we're planning a family gathering this Saturday at La Maison. You know, that fancy French place downtown? It's a surprise, so don't tell anyone. A family gathering? What's the occasion? Oh, you'll see, just be there at 7 p.m., okay, and dress nice. That was weird, my family never did fancy restaurants. Pizza Hut was about as upscale as we got. But whatever, maybe Lisa got a promotion or something. God knows it wouldn't be to celebrate anything I did. Saturday came, and I took an Uber to La Maison. The place was even fancier than I remembered, white tablecloths, crystal glasses, the works. I walked in and nearly had a heart attack. The entire extended family was there. Aunt Carol from Phoenix, Uncle Mike from Boston, cousins I hadn't seen since high school. At least 30 people, all dressed up and sitting at this massive table in the private dining room. Monica, Mom waved frantically, over here, sweetie. I made my way over, feeling like I was in some weird dream. The empty chair next to Mom had my name card on it. As soon as I sat down, everyone started clapping. What's going on? I whispered to Mom. She just smiled and tapped her wine glass with a fork. The room went quiet. Thank you all for coming, she began, giving me this look I couldn't quite read. We're here tonight to celebrate something very special. Our Monica has received a big promotion at work. More clapping, my stomach dropped. Now, Mom continued, her voice honey sweet but with that edge I knew too well. Monica didn't tell us about this wonderful news. She chose to celebrate with her work friends instead of her family. But we found out anyway, didn't we? Lisa leaned over, smirking. Cousin Beth saw you at that bar. She told Mom everything. Great, just great. Mom raised her glass. So tonight, we celebrate properly. Order whatever you want, the most expensive dishes, the finest wines. Nothing's too good for our Monica's special night. The relatives went nuts, menus flew open, and suddenly everyone was ordering lobster, filet mignon, bottles of champagne. People who probably couldn't pronounce half the dishes were pointing at the priciest items and asking the waiter what they were. I sat there with a glass of water, my appetite gone. This wasn't a celebration, this was a punishment. Dad ordered 3 bottles of the most expensive wine on the menu. Aunt Carol got the seafood tower. Uncle Mike ordered 2 appetizers and 3 entrees to try everything. About an hour in, the restaurant manager approached our table. She leaned down to speak to Mom. "Excuse me, ma'am, who will be handling the bill this evening? The current total is quite substantial." Mom didn't miss a beat. She pointed at me and said loudly enough for everyone to hear, "Oh, Monica will take care of it, she's our personal ATM." The whole table erupted in laughter. I felt my face burn with anger and humiliation. These people, my own family, were treating me like a joke, like a credit card with no limit. But I didn't make a scene. I didn't storm out. I just smiled and sipped my water, watching them order more and more expensive items. Let them have their fun. I had my own plans. The dinner dragged on for another hour. I watched my relatives stuff their faces with food they couldn't even pronounce. Cousin Jerry ordered something called foie gras and then asked the waiter if it came with ketchup. Aunt Marie got the $200 Wagyu steak and complained it was too small. Meanwhile, I kept drinking water and checking my phone under the table. I had a plan forming in my head, and the angrier I got, the clearer it became. "Monica, why aren't you eating?" Mom asked, loud enough for everyone to hear. "Order something, don't be shy with your own money." More laughter. I forced a smile. "I'm good with water, thanks." "Oh, come on," Lisa chimed in, "live a little. You can afford it now, right?" Her husband Tom nodded eagerly. "Yeah, Monica, thanks for treating us all." The kids had been talking about getting new iPads, so this is perfect timing. I almost laughed. Of course they were already planning how to spend more of my money. Finally, around 9:30, the waiter appeared with the check. He handed it to Mom, who made a big show of looking at it. Well, she announced, "the total is $2,987.43. But that's nothing for our Monica now, is it?" She slid the check across the table to me with this smug look on her face. I picked it up, examined it carefully, then set it back down on the table. "I need to use the restroom," I said, grabbing my purse. "I'll be right back." "Don't take too long," Dad called after me, "the staff's waiting." I walked calmly to the bathroom area, but instead of going in, I waited near the entrance. A large group was coming in for a birthday party, creating the perfect distraction. I slipped out the front door and into the cool night air. My hands were shaking as I walked down the street, but not from fear. I was furious. These people, my own flesh and blood, had orchestrated this whole thing to humiliate me, to put me in my place for daring to keep something private. 5 minutes later, I called an Uber. As I waited, my phone started buzzing, Mom calling. I ignored it. The ride home took about 25 minutes. By the time I walked into my apartment, my phone was going crazy. Missed calls from Mom, Dad, Lisa, even some numbers I didn't recognize. The text started rolling in. "Mom, where are you?" "Dad, Monica, this isn't funny, come back now." Lisa, "Oh my God, you didn't seriously leave?" "Mom, the manager is threatening to call the police." "Lisa, you're such a selfish brat." I scrolled through them, laughing, then came one that made me laugh even harder. "Mom, the manager says someone has to pay or they're calling the cops, get back here." I put my phone on silent and went to the kitchen. All that water drinking had left me starving, so I made myself a proper dinner, pasta with garlic shrimp and a nice glass of wine. The good wine, not the cheap stuff I usually bought. More texts kept coming. "Uncle Mike, Monica, your mother had to put it on her credit card, very disappointing behavior." "Aunt Carol, how could you embarrass your parents like this?" "Random cousin, wow, guess money really does change people, shameful." I read each one while eating my pasta. They all had the same theme: I was selfish, I was greedy, I had changed. Not one of them mentioned how they'd all ordered the most expensive items on the menu specifically to stick me with a massive bill. After dinner, I turned off my phone completely and went to bed. Best sleep I'd had in months. Sunday morning, I woke up around 9 a.m. and turned my phone back on. 47 missed calls, 83 text messages. I made coffee and settled in to read the highlights. Mom had sent a long message around midnight, I had to pay $3,000 on my credit card because of your childish behavior. Your father and I are extremely disappointed. Lisa's right, you've become a monster. We expect you to transfer the money to my account immediately. Lisa, I can't believe you do this to Mom and Dad. After everything they've done for you. My kids were so excited about the dinner and you ruined it. You're not the sister I grew up with. Even Tom chimed in, really uncool, Monica, we all have expenses. Now Mom's out $3,000 because of your stunt. I was halfway through my second cup of coffee when the doorbell rang. Then came the pounding. Monica, open up, we know you're in there, Dad's voice. Great. I checked the peephole, Mom, Dad, and Lisa, all looking pissed. I took a deep breath and opened the door. They stormed in like a SWAT team. Mom shoved the restaurant receipt in my face while Dad started yelling about respect and family values. Lisa just stood there shaking her head like I'd committed murder. You owe me $2,987.43, Mom shouted, transfer it right now. I started laughing, I couldn't help it. They all stopped and stared at me. What's so funny? Dad demanded. This, I said, gesturing at all of them, this whole thing. You set up that dinner to punish me for not telling you about my promotion. You invited 30 people, told them to order whatever they wanted, and publicly announced that I was your personal ATM, and now you're mad that I didn't play along? Mom's face went red, we were celebrating you. No, you were teaching me a lesson. Well, congratulations, I learned it. From now on, I'm not giving any of you another cent. I'm done being your ATM. You want to treat me like a joke? Fine, fund your own lives. The silence was beautiful, they just stared at me like I'd grown a second head. You can't do that, Lisa finally stammered, I have kids, expenses. Then budget better, get a second job, stop buying crap you don't need. I don't care, your financial problems are no longer my concern. Mom clutched her chest dramatically, after everything we've done for you. What, exactly? Give Lisa my college fund? Make me work 3 jobs to pay for school while she partied? Treat me like a walking wallet for the past 10 years? Yeah, thanks for all that. You're being ridiculous, Dad said, family helps family. Really? When's the last time any of you helped me? When I was working 16-hour days to pay for school, where were you? When I needed a place to stay between apartments, did any of you offer? No, but the second I started making decent money, suddenly we're family again. I walked to the door and held it open, get out, all of you. Consider it a $3,000 lesson in consequences. Maybe next time you'll think twice before trying to publicly humiliate someone who's been bankrolling your lives. They left, too shocked to argue more. But I knew this wasn't over, not by a long shot. 2 days passed in relative quiet, then the text started again. Mom, Monica, we need to talk, this has gone too far. Lisa, the kids are asking why Aunt Monica hates us, is that what you want? Dad, your mother's credit card bill is due soon, be reasonable. I only replied to Mom, the last time we talked, it cost $3,000, I'll pass. Wednesday morning, Lisa tried a different approach. She posted on Facebook, some people forget where they came from. Money changes people, but karma never forgets. Prayers for my family during this difficult time. She didn't name me, but all our mutual friends knew exactly who she meant. My phone started buzzing with messages from people I hadn't talked to in years. Hey Monica, saw Lisa's post, everything okay? Girl, what's the tea? Lisa's being super vague. Just wanted to check in, family stuff can be rough. I ignored them all, let Lisa play the victim. I had work to do and a house to save for. Thursday afternoon, my cousin Janet called. She'd been at the dinner but hadn't said much. Monica, please don't hang up. Look, I just wanted to say I get it. What they did was messed up. That surprised me, you do? Yeah, I only ordered a salad that night. I felt weird about the whole thing. The way your mom announced it, like you were some kind of cash machine, it wasn't right. Then why didn't you say something? She sighed, you know how your mom is, nobody crosses Patricia. Fair point, Mom had a way of making everyone fall in line. Anyway, Janet continued, I just wanted you to know not everyone thinks you're the bad guy here. But the family's pretty riled up. Your mom's been calling everyone, playing the victim. Of course she has. And Lisa's telling people you're cutting off the kids. Making it sound like you're punishing Jaden and Kaylee. I snorted, the kids have 2 working parents, they'll be fine. After we hung up, I checked Facebook again. Lisa had posted a photo of Jaden in his karate uniform with the caption, last class today, some dreams have to end when family lets you down. The manipulation was almost impressive. I screenshotted it from my records and kept scrolling. Friday brought a new wave of messages. Relatives I barely knew were suddenly concerned about my attitude and lack of family values. Aunt Marie sent a long text about how money isn't everything, rich coming from someone who ordered the Wagyu steak. By Saturday, I'd blocked about 15 numbers. Then came an email from Dad. Monica, your mother and I are deeply hurt by your behavior. We raised you better than this. Lisa is struggling to explain to the children why their aunt has abandoned them. Jaden had to quit karate, and Kaylee can't attend dance camp this summer. Is this really what you want? We're willing to forgive your restaurant stunt if you apologize and resume helping the family. Your mother's credit card bill is due in 2 weeks. Please do the right thing, love, Dad. I started typing a response, then deleted it. Instead, I composed something different. Dad, I've saved every text, email, and voicemail from the past week. If the harassment continues, I'll be contacting a lawyer about a cease and desist order. I won't be responding to any more messages about money. This is my final communication on this matter, Monica. I CC'd Mom and Lisa, then blocked their email addresses. The next few weeks were strange, quiet, but tense. I kept expecting them to show up at my door again, but they didn't. Maybe the lawyer threat worked, or maybe they were planning something else. Work was my escape. My new position kept me busy, and my team was killing it. We landed 3 major clients, and my boss mentioned another promotion might be coming. More money for the house fund. I started looking at real estate listings. There was a cute craftsman-style place about an hour outside the city, 3 bedrooms, big backyard, even a greenhouse. The listing said perfect for garden enthusiasts. I bookmarked it. Meanwhile, Lisa kept up her social media campaign. Every few days, another passive-aggressive post. Teaching kids that family isn't reliable is the hardest lesson. When people show you who they really are, believe them. Thankful for the real ones who stick around when times get tough. Her friends ate it up, comments like stay strong, and you deserve better, flooded in. A few mutual acquaintances unfriended me. Whatever. I'd rather lose fake friends than keep funding Lisa's lifestyle. One afternoon, I ran into Mrs. Chen from my old apartment building at the grocery store. Monica, how are you, dear? I heard about the family trouble. Great, even Mrs. Chen knew. I'm fine, really, just focusing on work. She patted my arm, you know, my niece went through something similar. Her brother expected her to pay for his wedding because she was the successful one. She said no, and the family exploded. But you know what? 5 years later, they all came around. Sometimes people need to learn to stand on their own feet. How did she handle it? The guilt trips, I mean. Mrs. Chen smiled, she remembered that no is a complete sentence. And that loving someone doesn't mean bankrupting yourself for them. I thought about that a lot over the next few days. I did love my family, despite everything. But love shouldn't come with a price tag. 3 months after the restaurant incident, I put in an offer on the Craftsman house. My realtor called the next day, they accepted. I'd be closing in 30 days. I didn't tell anyone in my family. Didn't post about it online. This was my achievement, my dream, and I wasn't sharing it with people who only saw me as a bank account. The day I signed the papers, I got another text from Mom, Cousin Beth's wedding is next month. We need to discuss your gift to the couple. Family tradition is $500 minimum from successful relatives. I didn't respond. Instead, I looked at my new house keys and smiled. No forwarding address needed. Moving day came on a sunny Saturday morning. I'd hired professional movers, no way was I asking family for help. As I packed up my apartment, I found old birthday cards from Mom and Dad. To our special daughter, one said, "You make us so proud." Yeah, right, proud of my bank account, maybe. The new house was even better than the pictures. The backyard had mature fruit trees and raised garden beds. The greenhouse needed some work, but I could already imagine rows of tomatoes and herbs. This was mine, all mine, nobody could guilt me into giving it up. I spent the first week unpacking and settling in. On Tuesday, my neighbor brought over homemade cookies. "Welcome to the neighborhood. I'm Helen, if you need anything, just knock." "Thanks, I'm Monica, these smell amazing." It felt nice, that simple kindness without expectations. 2 months into my new home, the family drama took an interesting turn. Cousin Janet called again. "You're not going to believe this," she said. "Your mom threw another family dinner to discuss the Monica situation. But here's the thing, she tried to make everyone pay their own bills. Said she couldn't afford to treat everyone anymore." I couldn't help laughing. How'd that go over? "Oh, it was a disaster. Uncle Mike walked out when he saw the prices. Aunt Carol ordered water and a side salad. The whole thing fell apart in like 30 minutes. Your dad tried to give a speech about family values, but people were already leaving. And Lisa, oh my God, Monica. She made this big announcement that she and Tom are having to move to a smaller apartment because they can't afford their current one. Good for them, maybe they'll learn to budget." She actually tried to pass around a donation jar for their moving expenses. Nobody put anything in. I was pruning my roses while Janet shared this glorious gossip. The garden was coming along nicely. I'd planted the herbs last week, and the tomatoes were already flowering in the greenhouse. "Oh, and the best part," Janet continued. "Your mom asked me to talk to you about coming back to the family. She said, and I quote, 'Tell Monica we forgive her.'" "They forgive me?" "Right, I told her maybe she should apologize to you first." She hung up on me. After we finished talking, I made myself some tea with fresh mint from my garden and sat on my back porch. Life was good. My work was going great, my house was perfect, and I had zero financial stress from supporting ungrateful relatives. A few weeks later, I was at the grocery store when I ran into my old high school friend Amy. "Monica, oh my God, how are you? I saw all that drama on Lisa's Facebook." "Hey Amy, yeah, it's been interesting. Girl, I've been waiting years for you to stand up to them. Remember in high school when they made you skip your own awards ceremony to babysit Lisa's kids? Ugh, don't remind me. And when they took your car for a week to drive Lisa to job interviews? While you had to take the bus to your actual job? I'd almost forgotten about that." Amy gave me a hug. "Good for you, seriously. Want to grab coffee sometime? I promise I won't ask for money." We both laughed. It felt good to reconnect with someone who knew my history but didn't judge me for protecting myself. 6 months after the restaurant incident, I got an unexpected email from Lisa. The subject line was important, please read. "Monica, I need to tell you something. I'm getting divorced. Tom has been having an affair with his coworker for over a year. He emptied our joint account and moved out last week. The kids are devastated. I know you hate me right now, but I don't know what to do. Mom and Dad are broke after helping with legal fees for Uncle Mike's DUI. I'm alone with 2 kids and can barely afford groceries. I'm not asking for money. I just needed to tell someone who might understand what it's like to be on your own. I'm sorry about the restaurant, I'm sorry about everything, Lisa." I stared at the email for a long time. Part of me wanted to ignore it. The other part remembered what it was like to struggle alone while everyone else had support. I typed back, "Lisa, I'm sorry about Tom, that's awful. I don't hate you, I just couldn't keep being treated like an ATM. Take care of yourself and the kids, Monica." Postscriptum, there's a food bank on Maple Street that's very discreet. They helped me during college when I was broke. I didn't offer money, I didn't invite her to my new house. But I didn't kick her while she was down either. A week later, Mom tried calling, I didn't answer, but she left a voicemail. Monica, it's Mom, I wanted to say. Look, I know we haven't handled things well. Your father and I are struggling since the restaurant incident. And now with Lisa's situation. Maybe we relied on you too much, maybe we. Anyway, I hope you're doing okay. It wasn't an apology, not really. But it was the closest she'd ever come to admitting fault. I saved the voicemail but didn't call back. Some bridges take time to rebuild, if they get rebuilt at all. A year after buying my house, I posted one photo on social media, just my garden in full bloom. No house pictures, no address hints. Just flowers and vegetables. Amy commented, "Your garden is gorgeous." Janet wrote, "Living your best life." And then, to my surprise, Lisa commented, "Beautiful, the kids and I started a small herb garden on our balcony, you inspired us." I liked her comment but didn't reply, baby steps. These days, I'm happy. My house is paid off faster than expected thanks to that second promotion. My garden produces enough vegetables to share with neighbors. Helen and I have coffee every Sunday, and she's teaching me to make her cookie recipe. Sometimes I think about my family. I hear bits of news through Janet, Dad got a part-time job, Mom's selling things on Facebook Marketplace, Lisa's working 2 jobs but managing. They're surviving without me, which is what I wanted all along. I don't know if we'll ever be a real family again. Maybe we never were. But I do know this, setting boundaries saved my sanity, my finances, and maybe even my relationship with them in the long run. They had to learn to see me as a person, not a piggy bank. My therapist says healing takes time. She's right, but every morning when I walk through my garden, I know I made the right choice. I'm not their ATM anymore. I'm just Monica, homeowner, gardener, regional director, yeah, I got promoted again, and finally, my own person.